Welcome back to Retro Wednesday. The Tiderum here. This is Mike. And today I want to talk to you about Bugmen of Insecta. This is one of those toy lines from the 80s, 1983, I believe. And this is from a company called Multi Toys Corporation, MTC, which is very closely related, I believe, to Dimensions for Children, DFC. And this does share some stuff with that toy line, but we are going to get in and take a look at this, and we're going to talk about this. It was a low price point toy line. Yes, it was sold at Toys R Us, but not really everywhere else, and sort of forgotten, very rare, hard to find, and very fragile, so they break very easy. But we're going to talk about this toy line and everything I know about it, even though a lot of the checklists don't even include the sleds. We'll talk about those coming up. Deep beneath the planet Earth, there's a world unknown to mankind. When the human species evolved, on the Earth's surface, the insects that came from beneath were prevented from evolving into superior species. However, those that remained did indeed evolve into a race of giant warrior insects. Daily, these brutal creatures battle each other for control of their world. Today, they battle each other. Tomorrow, they may battle us. Introducing Bugmen of Insecta. So here's what a carded one looks like. Hardback. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's the exact same. They did not change it for any of them. They were smart enough to say, hey, you know what? You're going to get one hardback, and then you're going to read that it has all this stuff. Now, there's more to the story right here if you want to read it. And it goes into each one of these. I did a little bit of research on multiple different places to kind of get names that were used for this. But I really, truly believe that this and some promotional material that was put out is all that exists. There's no cartoon. There's no comic book or anything. So let's get into this. All right, so getting to show this toy line, I want to show a G.I. Joe. I was trying to get something that looked close to a bug. So Cobra, la, 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 la. And then Sectars. Now, I want to say that although this came 3 years before Sectars, and it wasn't as popular, Sectars was actually way more popular than this. You can see the height difference in it, and it's a whole different toy line with Sectars. But they also had companion bugs. Now, this one goes with this guy. This one goes with Zach, I think. So it doesn't really go with this figure, but I'll just kind of show an example. And also, if you don't know, now you know, Sectars, Nacelle is actually getting their Sectars figures in, so those should be shipping soon. Whether you buy them from there or anywhere else that's selling, like BBTS or all those places, they should be shipping soon. Now we're going to take a look at each of these, but I do want to point out a few things about this toy line with the accessories. But I grouped them. We're going to go in order starting from here on over. The accessories come in one of three colors: black, red, or green. There's a green. And so each different type of accessory that comes with each one has their own type of accessory, or two different figures share one type. They could have one of three colors, meaning that to have a complete set and have all the color variations, then you'd have an extra accessory between one of these figures, which you probably put on this dude that has 6 arms, or this dude that has 4 arms. But with that, it can get really challenging to get all of the different colors. But I think it's a really cool way to make a cheap toy line from back in the day that didn't have a cartoon or a comic. It was a supporting toy line. All the different colors make it so much more interesting, but way harder to collect down the road. Okay, so we're also trying something different with the lighting on this. I hope it works out. I really can't tell until we are in editing, but this one is Lord Grassa of the Grasshoppers, and with that, he is my favorite one, the Grasshopper Man. And there's, on the back of the card, they show you buying 5 of each, and that's kind of a cool idea. Like, hey, you want a whole bunch of each bug, but in reality, you really just want to kind of track down one of each of these. And a couple of the issues that you're going to see, and I see it mostly on this guy, is the spots. You have the spotting right here on his leg, and then you see it at a few other places on him. But as you can see, he comes with the standard gun. All of them have the exact same gun, and with that, it's a little bit up, but anyway, I can fix that. And then he has this staff. Now, this staff can come in any different color. It can come in the black and the green or the red. And as you can see, we'll see a different color on the next guy. He also comes with this bug here, which kind of looks like a, I don't know, does it look like a beetle? Fly? It looks like a fly to me. Kind of a fly, yeah. We'll go with a fly. This one is the most common for whatever reason. I have no idea why this one seems to be, it's just kind of timing. But this is Lord Grassa. This one is my favorite because of the colors and the way he looks. That is definitely my favorite of all of these. And even though some of the other ones that have other arms are a little bit more interesting, I just like the colors of this guy. Next up, we have the Elus people of the Stag Beetle. The Stag Beetle Elus. And he does have the same fly bug that we saw with Lord Grassa, which was my favorite. Might actually be my least favorite. I don't know why. I just feel like maybe it's the black and the browns that just look kind of muted and not as much fun. But he does have a yellow head, 5 points of articulation. So they all have 5 points of articulation unless they have extra arms. They got the head, shoulders, waist, and knee articulation. Be careful not to break any of these joints. As you know, with similar figures like we saw in the past, they could break very easily. Now this one I set up with the red staff and the green gun, and if you're curious whether or not I'm right, I've got like a cheat sheet of sealed figures that I made a cheat sheet of to make sure I got the right accessories and bug to go along, because there's just very little information about this out there. Some of it can be confusing. I like to be right, but Stag Beetle Elus, pretty cool. Next up, we have the one they call Spider-Man, which you would think the red and black one would have been Spider-Man, but this is also called Web Spinner. So there are two of them that are sort of like spiders. So they both come with a tarantula, and that's how that works. Is that cool? It works. Now he comes with a webbed type of staff with an arrow point kind of on the end. This one's green. Of course, it could be black or red also. They were all variations that were in there. And then he has a gun, which could be any of the colors of guns. And with that, he has 4 arms. And he's got this circular piece in here. And he's got these antennae that break off easily. And then he's got these biter mandible pieces. And same articulation. Of course, he's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of articulation. The next one we send, I guess, is going to have 11 points of articulation. But it's pretty cool. The yellow and black color scheme does look kind of great. And then the giant, like, cat eyes, which, I mean, it's not cat eyes. It's supposed to be a bug eye, but the giant cat eyes, that's cool. It looks interesting. It's a fun one. And hopefully you get one that's got decent paint on it. And that works pretty well. And nothing's broken. But, yeah, this one here is the Spider-Man or Web Spinner. This one here is called Black Widow, or the Queen of the Most Vicious Spiders. And it does come with a tarantula-looking spider. So that's cool. And he has 6 arms. It's crazy. They're all articulated and all scary that you'll break them. And he does have kind of a web look on the chest. Does have those antennae on the back. Almost like, I wonder if they used... No, they didn't use the same head. They used similar type of head as the last spider one. But I wonder if the legs are all the same. I never even looked at that. But they have to reuse some of these parts. I'm sure, I think the arms might be the same as the last one. They have to reuse some parts on these. But anyway, this one does look pretty cool. Now he's coming with a black version of the web and a red gun. So I kind of like try to mix the colors up. I think they look really cool with all the different colors that are out there, and just kind of mixing up the colors is a cool, fun thing to do with this toy line. And the fact that they kind of mixed up the colors of the weapons and accessories made it a little bit more fun and a little bit more challenging if you want to get all of the variations like some collectors do. But anyway, this one here is Black Widow, Queen of the Most Vicious Spiders. Next up, we have the Tiger Beetle, and the name Carnivora is one that people were using for this one. So maybe that's right. It looks like it comes with like a roach or a beetle or something. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what the... yeah, let me get that out of here. I don't know. But stuff's falling down in the background. Don't worry about that. Nothing broke. He has these antennae that are always going to be breaking off, and some giant red eyes, and a red chest with a white back and dots on it. Like, so I look at this and I feel like Ladybug, but you know, that's just maybe that's just me. here in my area. He does have, I can't even tell you what this staff is. I was thinking like a flower or something, fly, I don't know. But you can get it in one of the 3 colors. Also, any color gun, just randomly packed with these dudes. So, pretty cool overall. The figure himself, okay, let's be honest, one of the more bland ones of this toy line. So next up we have the Killer Bees, and this one would be called King Stinga? King Stinga, yeah. So that's what they're calling the Killer Bee one. Now, here's the thing. This one is different than the rest. They all have something a little bit different about him. He's got a two-tone torso, like red and yellow, and blue on the legs. So it does make him a little bit more visually appealing and cooler. He has a red one of what we just saw, that, I don't know, flowery-looking staff, and in kind of a boring black blaster to match his wings. And on the back, he's got the little stinger, so he can sting with it. And these actually plug in. They don't glue in, and they're not glued in, and they're not any other way. They just plug in with a tab. It actually is packed separately in the package, which is interesting. Or is it packed separately? I don't know. Anyway, it's not glued in. This is one of the questions I always have about these. But what's fun about this is you can get the wings in all 3 colors. And how do I know? I'll show you, because I've got one in red. And this one here, I don't have everything for it. I don't have another staff for it or anything. But I have a picture showing that you can get the wings in green if you want to. So, well, if you can find it, if you can track it down. But I gotta say that this is a fun little toy line, and I can really see that the way they mix these up, it is enticing to kids to get multiples, because you can have multiple different color wings, different color weapons, accessories, and still have like an army of the same guys. This is the Killer Bee King Stinga, a whole lot of fun. All right, so now we're gonna get into the sleds. Now, the actual name of the sleds, I don't really know. I actually have little to no information about the sleds. I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for a dear friend of mine letting me have it for next to nothing. And so with that, getting me started down this path with some of these figures and accessories and this sled. And so with that, it's not in the greatest shape. I'm not going to complain that I actually have one, and I have not seen but 2 more for sale, and the wings are really fragile. They're all broken. I did a little slight repair on mine. Now, I want to say that it's got clear translucent wings, and it rolls, it has wheels, and I'm not going to do much more with it because that's about all that it can do. That's it's got some paint on the back and stuff. Mine's not in the greatest shape, and it fits a figure, and you could do a lot of crazy stuff, but it's the same sled that we saw with Dragon Riders of the Sticks, except it doesn't have the horns on it. They did some slight differences, but not a lot. As you can see, compared to the Dragon Riders of the Sticks sled, they are almost identical, the same thing. And you have like teeth on this one. This one does not have teeth, but you still have the nostrils, but they're painted here. And then you have some red paint on the top. You have no paint, but you have some horns. They made some slight differences. I really don't understand the molding differences. And as in, we have the bevel in here on the side of this, but we have that, but painted with the yellow on there. So there's some differences too, but it's the same mold, slightly altered and tweaked to be a little bit different, which makes me think that Dimensions for Children and Multi-Toys are either the same company or part of an umbrella of companies. And they also made for Lord Grassa, which is funny because I put Lord Grassa in this sled, but he's supposed to have this green sled, I believe. Unless this is a custom someone made. But I just do not have any more information about it. I've never seen one of these for sale. I just see this picture, and I know that my friends told me this one exists. Maybe just from this picture. I don't know. But anyway, I use this picture to show that this exists and be a lot of fun. And I thought about making a custom one myself, which this is probably what it is. It might be a custom. I don't know, because there's no information about sleds. But I can tell you right now that what's behind me, that sled is not a custom. This one could be, but there's no information at all in the world about it. If you know anything about this, link it down below. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the Bugmen of Insecta. It is a pretty cool toy line from back in the day. It does kind of share some stuff with Sectars, and it is sort of in that popular 3.75 inch scale but they are kind of hard to find. They get a little bit pricey. Lucky for me, I had some friends that kind of helped me out with this along the way so I could collect it. But it is kind of fun and colorful. But what do you think about this toy line? Have you ever heard of it? Do you know about this toy line? Do you have any of this stuff? Do you actually collect this stuff? And what do you think about how they did the weapons? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Tell your hanger out.